She never expected a broken-down Ferrari would change her life forever. But when single mom Elena helps a cold-hearted mafia boss on a lonely road, the silver ring on her daughter's finger shatters his carefully constructed walls. Their worlds violently collide as his enemies target the woman who awakened his heart, forcing him to choose between the empire he built and the family he never thought he'd have again. Blood will spill, secrets will emerge, and the man everyone fears will discover that his greatest weakness might also be his last chance at redemption. A child's innocent hand now holds the key to a deadly power struggle, where love and danger dance in perfect, terrifying harmony. Subscribe now and comment "Redemption" if you believe even the darkest souls deserve a second chance at love. Elena Brooks stares at the broken transmission, her fingers smeared with black grease. The garage feels too hot today, even with the large fans circulating stale air. She pushes a stubborn strand of hair from her face, leaving another dark smudge on her forehead. Elena. Phone call. Mario, the garage owner, shouts from the office. Her stomach tightens. Phone calls during work hours usually mean trouble. Lily's school or another bill collector. She wipes her hands on a rag and hurries to the small office, its walls covered with outdated calendars and faded car advertisements. Hello? Her voice is cautious. Mrs. Brooks, this is Miss Ferraro from St. Catherine's. Lily isn't feeling well. She has a slight fever. Elena feels panic rise in her chest. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Mario frowns as she hangs up. His bushy eyebrows pull together, creating deep lines on his weathered face. Again, Elena, I can't keep giving you time off. I'm sorry. Lily's sick. She unties her work apron. I'll make up the hours this weekend. We're cutting back hours already. Business is slow. He sighs, rubbing his bald spot. You're my best mechanic, but I need someone reliable. Elena's breath catches. She can't lose this job. Please, Mario, I need this work. His expression softens. Finish the Fiat transmission tomorrow. But Elena, this is the last time. She nods quickly, grateful but worried. The last time until the next time Lily needs her. The impossible balance of a single mother. The school hallway smells of floor cleaner and children's paste. Elena walks quickly, her work boots loud against the polished tiles. When she reaches the nurse's office, Lily sits quietly on a plastic chair, her small legs dangling. Mama! Lily's face brightens, though her cheeks are flushed with fever. Elena kneels and touches her daughter's forehead. Hey, sweetheart. Not feeling good, Lily shakes her head, her blonde curls bouncing slightly. Elena sees herself in the child's delicate features, but the blue eyes, those belong to James, her late husband. The memory aches. Miss Ferraro approaches with Lily's backpack. Just a low fever, but school policy is clear. I understand. Thank you. Elena helps Lily into her jacket. Let's get you home, Bug. Outside, dark clouds gather on the horizon. Helena rushes Lily to their old van, praying it starts. The engine groans twice before catching, and she releases a held breath. They need a new vehicle, but there's never enough money. Mama, can we have soup? Lily asks as they drive through narrow streets. Of course. And maybe a story too. Elena forces cheerfulness into her voice. Their apartment sits above a bakery in the old part of town. The constant scent of bread usually feels comforting, but today Elena hardly notices. She helps Lily up the narrow staircase and unlocks their door. The apartment is small but clean. One bedroom they share, a tiny kitchen, and a living area with second-hand furniture. Elena tucks Lily onto the worn couch and turns on the television to cartoons. Rest here while I make soup, okay? Lily nods, already half asleep. Elena watches her daughter's chest rise and fall, noting how small she looks against the cushions. She gently removes Lily's shoes and covers her with a blanket. In the kitchen, Eleanor opens a can of soup and pours it into a pot. Her mind races with calculations. Hours lost today, rent due next week. The electric bill marked final notice. She stares at the swirling soup, willing herself not to cry. The silver ring on Lily's finger catches the light as she sleeps. Elena touches her own bare finger, where a wedding band once sat. She sold her ring months after James died, when money grew too tight. But she couldn't bear to sell his childhood ring, the one he'd kept in a box of treasures. Now it sits on Lily's small finger, the only piece of her father she still has. Morning comes with grey light filtering through thin curtains. Eleanor wakes early, checking Lily's forehead. The fever broke overnight. Relief washes through her. Feeling better, she brushes Lily's tangled curls from her face. Can I have pancakes? Lily asks, fully recovered. Elena laughs. That's my girl. Yes, pancakes it is. After breakfast, Elena calls the garage. Mario, I need to deliver that transmission part to Signor Bianchi today. Is that okay? Yes, yes. The part is ready. Don't be late tomorrow, Elena. She dresses Lily in a clean dress and braids her hair. You're coming with Mama today. We're going on a little drive to deliver a part. Can I bring my drawing book? Lily asks. Of course. At the garage, Elena loads the heavy part into the van while Lily sits patiently in the passenger seat. The van's rusty floor has a hole covered with duct tape, and the seats are patched with electrical tape. But it runs, usually. They drive north, leaving the small town behind. The coastal road winds between rocky cliffs and blue Mediterranean waters. Lily points at fishing boats dotting the horizon. Look, Mama. The boats look tiny. They do, don't they? Elena smiles at her daughter's wonder. The van makes a sudden loud noise. The engine sputters and smoke begins to rise from under the hood. No, no, no. Elena guides the van to the roadside and turns off the ignition. She steps out, lifting the hood carefully. Steam billows out, making her cough. Elena feels desperation rising. They're miles from town on a rarely traveled road. Mama? Lily calls from inside. It's okay, sweetie. Just a little problem. Elena examines the engine, identifying the issue. A broken belt and an overheated radiator. She lacks the tools to fix it properly. Her shoulders slump. The sound of an approaching engine makes her turn. A sleek black Ferrari roars around the bend, its engine purring perfectly. Eleanor watches it fly past, then suddenly slow down. The car stops 100 yards ahead. Elena sees the Ferrari's hazard lights blink on. The driver exits, a tall man in an expensive suit. He looks under his hood briefly, then slams it closed with obvious frustration. Mama, his car broke too. Lily exclaims, now standing beside Elena. Elena weighs her options. A stranger on a remote road versus being stranded indefinitely. The man paces beside his car, talking angrily on his phone. Stay close to me, she tells Lily, taking her hand. They walk toward the Ferrari. As they approach, Elena feels apprehension growing. The man radiates authority and cold anger. His back is to them as he continues his heated phone conversation. I don't care what it takes. Fix it. His voice is sharp, commanding. He turns and sees them. Elena's steps falter. His face is striking, all hard angles and intensity. Dark eyes assess them instantly, making Elena feel exposed. Recognition flickers in her mind. She's seen him before in newspaper photos, Luca Moretti. The rumors about him swirl in her thoughts. Wealthy businessman, suspected Mafia connections, dangerous. The man half the town whispers about but never directly names. Car trouble? Elena asks, keeping her voice steady. His expression remains impassive. My driver is coming to fix it. Up close, his presence is overwhelming. Tall, impeccably dressed, with a face that betrays nothing. His eyes move from Elena to Lily, then back again. We're stuck too. Elena gestures to her van. Broken belt. Something shifts in his expression. Surprised perhaps that she's offering information rather than asking for help. A sleek black SUV appears around the bend, pulling up behind the Ferrari. A burly man exits the SUV and approaches Luca with deference. Boss, what happened? Fix it, Marco. Luca's command is quiet but firm. Marco inspects the Ferrari's engine, frowning. Strange. Everything seems connected properly. Lily tugs on Elena's hand, then whispers something. Elena hesitates, then looks at Luca. My daughter thinks she might know what's wrong. She watches me work on engines all the time. Luca raises an eyebrow, skeptical. He studies Lily, who shrinks behind Elena's leg. Go ahead, he finally says, stepping back from the car. Elena lifts Lily so she can see into the engine. Lily points shyly to a disconnected wire. That's not supposed to be loose. Marco checks where she's pointing and looks surprised. She's right. How did that happen? Elena sets Lily down and examines the issue. Simple fix, may I? Luca nods once. Elena reaches in, reconnecting the wire securely. She steps back, wiping her hands on her jeans. Try it now. Marco slides into the driver's seat and turns the key. The Ferrari purrs to life perfectly. He looks impressed. Luca's expression remains neutral, but he studies Elena with new interest. You know cars. It's not a question. I'm a mechanic. At Mario's garage in town. She feels strange explaining herself to him. His eyes narrow slightly. And your van. Broken belt. I can fix it with tools, but I don't have any with me. Luca speaks to Marco in rapid Italian. The larger man nods and returns to the SUV, retrieving a toolbox. Marco will help you. Luca's voice is softer now. Elena feels uncomfortable with the unexpected assistance. That's not necessary, I insist. He cuts her off firmly. While Marco works on her van, Lily sits on a nearby rock, swinging her legs and twisting the silver ring on her finger, a nervous habit. Elena notices Luca watching her daughter, his attention drawn to the small piece of jewelry. When he approaches Elena, he reaches into his pocket and withdraws a money clip thick with euros. For your assistance. Elena shakes her head. No payment needed. We were just helping. Surprise flashes across his face, quickly masked by his neutral expression. Everyone wants something. Not me. Elena meets his gaze directly, not for a simple kindness. His eyes hold hers for a long moment. The silence stretches between them, filled with unspoken assessment. She refuses to look away first. Your van is fixed, Marco calls. Elena breaks the eye contact. Thank you for the help. As she turns to collect Lily, she feels Luca's eyes following them. Lily waves goodbye to him as they walk away. To Elena's surprise, he raises his hand in a small, almost imperceptible wave back. Elena helps Lily into the van. As they drive away, she watches in the rearview mirror as the Ferrari pulls onto the road behind them, keeping pace for several minutes before accelerating past. He seemed sad, Mama, Lily says, watching the Ferrari disappear around a bend. Some people just look that way, sweetheart. Elena focuses on the road ahead. The Ferrari's taillights vanish, but Elena can't shake the feeling that something significant just happened, something that won't end with a chance roadside meeting. Night falls over their small apartment. Elena tucks Lily into bed, smoothing the worn blanket around her small shoulders. Story time? Lily asks, her blue eyes hopeful. One short one. Elena sits on the edge of the bed. Which do you want? The one about the princess with the magic ring. Elena smiles sadly, the story James used to tell. Once upon a time, there was a brave princess who wore a silver ring. The ring wasn't just any ring, it connected her to everyone she loved, even when they were far away. By the time the story ends, Lily is asleep, her small hand curled near her face, the silver ring glinting in the dim light. Elena gently kisses her forehead and leaves the room. In the tiny living room, she unfolds the sofa bed and sits heavily, exhaustion settling over her. The day's events replay in her mind, the garage, Lily's fever, the broken van, and those penetrating dark eyes studying her. Outside, rain begins to fall. Elena moves to the window to close it against the gathering storm. On the street below, a black car sits idling, its presence unusual in their quiet neighborhood. Her breath catches. The car resembles the one that followed the Ferrari earlier. She steps back from the window, her heart racing. A branch scrapes against the glass, making her jump. She tells herself she's being paranoid. No one would follow them home. Still, she checks the locks twice before returning to bed. Elena lies awake, listening to the rain. She thinks about Luca Moretti's face when she refused his money. No one says no to men like him, yet she did. She hopes it won't matter tomorrow. In the darkness, sleep finally claims her. Elena wakes to Lily's frightened voice. Mama, someone's outside. She bolts upright, instantly alert. The digital clock reads 2:17 a.m. She hears it then, a scraping at the apartment door. Not a branch, not her imagination. Get in the closet, she whispers, guiding Lily to the bedroom. Don't make a sound. The doorknob rattles. Elena grabs a heavy wrench from her work bag and positions herself behind the door. Her hands shake, but her grip remains firm. A sudden crash of breaking glass comes from the kitchen window. Elena feels terror shooting through her veins. She rushes to the bedroom, pulling Lily from the closet. We have to go, now. They rush to the fire escape window. Elena pushes it open, feeling the cool night air against her face. She helps Lily out first, then follows quickly. The metal stairs clang beneath their feet as they descend. When they reach the alley, Elena lifts Lily into her arms and runs. She doesn't know where to go, just away. Headlights flood the street ahead. Elena freezes, clutching Lily tighter. Two black SUVs block the road. Men exit the vehicles, their movements purposeful. Elena backs away, searching for an escape route. Then she sees him. Luca Moretti steps out of the second SUV, his expression severe. He scans the area until his eyes find her. Elena turns to run in the opposite direction, but stops when she sees more shadows moving there. They're surrounded. "Mrs. Brooks," Luca's voice carries easily through the quiet night. "You're in danger." He approaches slowly, his hands visible at his sides. "The men who tried to enter your apartment work for my cousin. They won't stop." "Why would they want us?" Elena's voice trembles. Luca's eyes move to Lily, then back to Elena. "Please, come with me. I can protect you. I don't know you." Fear and confusion battle within her. "You know enough to understand I can keep you safe." His voice is even, controlled. Behind them, police sirens wail in the distance. Luca's men shift restlessly. "Boss, we need to go," Marco says from beside one of the SUVs. Luca never breaks eye contact with Elena. "It's your choice, but they'll return." Elena feels trapped between impossible options, the devil she doesn't know, versus the certain danger waiting in her broken-into apartment. "Mama, I'm scared," Lily whispers against her neck. That decides it. Elena walks toward Luca, maintaining distance between them. "If we go with you, we leave whenever we want. No conditions." Something shifts in his expression. Respect, perhaps. "Agreed." He opens the SUV's rear door. Elena hesitates, then climbs in with Lily. Luca sits opposite them as the vehicle pulls away from the curb. In the dim interior, his face is half-shadowed. "You'll stay at my villa until I resolve this situation. You'll be safe there." "Why are you helping us?" Elena asks, suspicious. His eyes find Lily's small hand where the silver ring sits. "Let's call it repayment for fixing my car." The silence hangs between them as the SUV speeds through empty streets. Lily falls asleep against Elena's shoulder, exhausted by fear and excitement. Elena watches the town disappear behind them. "I won't be indebted to a criminal." "Yet here you are." His voice is cold again. "Because someone broke into my home." She meets his gaze directly. "Not because I trust you." Luca leans forward slightly. "Trust isn't required. Survival is." The SUV turns onto a private road leading up a hillside overlooking the sea. Elena peers out the window as iron gates open to admit them. Beyond lies a sprawling villa, its white walls gleaming in security lights. "Welcome to Villa Moretti." Luca's voice holds no warmth. "Your temporary home." As they approach the imposing house, Elena feels her life changing course. She holds Lily closer, wondering what price this protection will demand. The SUV stops at the villa's entrance. Luca exits first, then extends his hand to help Elena out. She ignores it, climbing out while balancing the sleeping Lily in her arms. His expression reveals nothing, but his eyes narrow slightly. "Marco will show you to your rooms." "And then what?" Elena asks, her fear giving way to anger. "Then you sleep." Luca turns away. "Tomorrow is soon enough for explanations." He walks up the marble steps and disappears into the villa. Elena follows Marco, acutely aware of the security men watching from the shadows. Inside, the villa is coldly beautiful, marble floors, crystal chandeliers, priceless art. Nothing feels lived in or loved, just expensive and empty. Marco leads them upstairs to a suite of rooms. "The boss said to make you comfortable. There are clothes in the closet. If you need anything, press the intercom." After he leaves, Elena locks the door and places Lily gently on the massive bed. The room feels larger than their entire apartment. She sits beside her sleeping daughter, gently stroking her hair. "What have I done?" she whispers to herself. On the nightstand, she finds an envelope. Inside lies more money than she makes in 3 months. She recognizes it, the payment she refused for helping with the Ferrari. Elena's hands tighten around the envelope. This man, this criminal, thinks everyone has a price. He doesn't understand people like her, people who refuse to be bought. She places the envelope where she found it, untouched. Whatever game Luca Moretti is playing, she won't be another piece on his board. Not for sale, not ever. Outside the window, dawn breaks over the Mediterranean. A new day, a new reality. Elena feels fear and determination mingling in her chest. She made a deal with the devil to protect her daughter. Now she must survive his world without losing herself in it. Elena wakes to sunlight streaming through unfamiliar windows. For a moment she forgets where she is. Then reality crashes back. The break-in, the midnight escape, Luca Moretti's cold offer of protection. Lily stirs beside her, small fists rubbing sleepy eyes. "Mama, where are we?" "We're staying at a big house for a little while." Elena keeps her voice calm. "Just until our apartment is fixed." "Is this a castle?" Lily sits up, suddenly wide awake. Elena manages a smile. "Almost. Let's find some breakfast." They dress in clothes found in the closet, simple items that somehow fit them perfectly. Elena feels uneasy at this evidence of preparation. How long had Luca been planning to bring them here? When they open their bedroom door, Marco stands outside. His massive frame fills the doorway. "The boss asks that you join him for breakfast." Elena's stomach tightens. "Do we have a choice?" Marco's expression remains neutral. "There's always a choice, Signora." They follow him through the villa's winding corridors. Morning light pours through tall windows, illuminating marble floors and priceless artwork. Elena keeps Lily close, feeling watched at every turn. The dining room stretches longer than their entire apartment. Luca sits at the head of a massive table, reading something on a tablet. He stands when they enter, his movements fluid and controlled. "Did you sleep well?" His voice is formal, distant. The accommodations are adequate. Elena matches his coldness. His mouth twitches, almost a smile. "Please, sit, eat." Servants appear with platters of food, fresh fruit, pastries, eggs. Lily's eyes widen at the spread. Elena helps her into a chair, noticing how her small legs dangle far from the floor. "Thank you," Lily says when a maid places juice before her. Luca watches the child with an unreadable expression. "You're welcome." Breakfast passes in uncomfortable silence. Elena eats little, while Lily devours a chocolate pastry with obvious delight. Luca drinks espresso, his attention divided between his tablet and occasional glances at them. "Your apartment was completely ransacked." He finally speaks. Nothing of value remains. Elena's breath catches. "My photos. We recovered what we could." Luca nods to Marco, who places a small box on the table. Family photos, documents, the child's favorite toy. Elena feels gratitude fighting with suspicion. "Why would someone destroy our home?" "My cousin Raphael believes hurting you will hurt me." His voice remains even. "He's mistaken." "I don't know you." Elena meets his gaze. "Why would hurting us affect you?" Something shifts in his expression, so brief she almost misses it. Raphael sees connections where none exist, a dangerous habit. "When can we leave?" Elena asks, when Raphael no longer poses a threat. Luca stands. "Until then, consider the villa yours. Avoid the West Wing. My men have instructions to keep you safe, not prisoner." He leaves without another word, Marco following close behind. Elena watches him go, noticing the rigid set of his shoulders, the way servants bow slightly as he passes. Lily tugs on Elena's sleeve. "He seems sad, Mama." Elena sighs. "I think he's just used to being in charge, sweetheart." Days pass slowly at Villa Moretti. Elena and Lily explore the permitted areas, the gardens with their stunning sea views, the pool glittering in sunlight, the library filled with leather-bound books. Security men watch from a distance, always present, but never intrusive. Elena rarely sees Luca, who spends his days in meetings or locked in his office. When they do encounter each other, his interactions remain formal, brief. On their third evening, Elena tucks Lily into bed in their suite. Another story about the Princess and her ring? Lily shakes her head, twisting her silver ring. "Tell me about the man whose house we're in." Elena pauses, uncertain what to say. "Mr. Moretti is a businessman. He's helping us because some bad people damaged our apartment." "But why does he look at my ring?" Lily asks. "He always stares at it." Elena feels a chill. She hadn't noticed this pattern. "I don't know, sweetheart. Maybe it reminds him of something." After Lily falls asleep, Elena slips into the hallway. The villa feels different at night. Shadows gather in corners, and the silence amplifies every sound. She wanders toward the library, seeking distraction. Music stops her, quiet piano notes drifting from behind closed doors. She follows the sound to a room she hasn't entered before. The door stands slightly ajar. Elena peers inside. Luca sits at a grand piano, his back to her. His fingers move across keys with practiced precision. The melody carries sorrow so profound that Elena feels her throat tighten. She watches, transfixed. In this unguarded moment, he seems transformed, no longer the cold Mafia boss, but a man wrestling with private pain. When a wrong note breaks the melody, he stops abruptly, shoulders slumping. Spying becomes a habit, Mrs. Brooks. His voice cuts through the silence. Elena jumps. I wasn't... Save your excuses. He closes the piano lid without turning. You should return to your room. The music was beautiful. Elena doesn't move. Now he turns, his expression guarded. A useless talent. Nothing beautiful is useless. She steps into the room, drawn by curiosity despite her better judgment. Luca watches her approach, his posture stiffening. Up close she notices details previously missed. A small scar above his eyebrow, the slight shadow of stubble along his jaw, the weariness in his eyes. My wife believed that too. His voice is barely audible. Elena's eyes find a silver frame. On the piano, a photograph of a smiling woman holding a small girl. Recognition dawns slowly. You had a family. His face hardens instantly. This conversation is finished. He strides past her, shoulder brushing hers in his haste to escape. Elena remains, studying the photograph. The little girl wears a familiar silver ring, identical to the one on Lily's finger. Elena feels dizzy with sudden understanding. She remembers fragments of news reports from years ago. A car bombing, a Mafia vendetta, innocent victims. Luca Moretti's family. Her fingers trace the silver frame. The pieces begin to align. His interest in Lily's ring, his unexpected protection, his buried grief. You shouldn't be here. A woman's voice startles Elena. She turns to find an elderly housekeeper in the doorway, her expression stern but not unkind. I'm sorry. I heard the music and... The master doesn't like people in this room. The woman approaches, straightening items on a side table. This was their space, his wife and daughter. Elena gestures to the photograph. What happened to them? The housekeeper's eyes cloud with memory. A bomb. Meant for him, but they were in the car instead. 5 years ago now. Elena's breath catches. I'm so sorry. He changed after. Became what they wanted, hard, merciless. The woman straightens her shoulders. I'm Mrs. Vella. I've worked for the Moretti family 30 years. The ring my daughter wears. Mrs. Vella nods slowly. I noticed it the first day. Isabella's ring, his daughter. But how did Lily get it? Elena feels confused, afraid. After the tragedy, I gathered Isabella's things. Mrs. Vella avoids her gaze. The master couldn't bear to see them. I donated some items to the church charity. Elena remembers suddenly. After James died, they stayed briefly at a church shelter. The nuns gave Lily a box of children's items, including a small silver ring that fit her finger perfectly. This can't be coincidence. Elena's voice trembles. In Sicily, we don't believe in coincidence. Mrs. Vella touches her arm gently. We believe in fate. Elena returns to her room, mind racing. She watches Lily sleep peacefully, the ring glinting on her small hand. What seemed random now appears orchestrated by something larger than chance. She doesn't sleep that night. Morning brings new tension to the villa. Elena feels Luca's absence before a servant informs her he's away on business. Relief and disappointment mingle strangely in her chest. She spends the day helping Lily explore. The garden, always under the watchful eyes of security men. The beauty of the estate cannot mask its fortress-like qualities. High walls, cameras, armed guards. That evening, Elena hears raised voices from Luca's office. She moves closer, keeping to shadows. Raphael is making his move. Marco's voice is urgent. He approached the Colombo family for support. Let him. Luca sounds dismissive. The Colombos won't back him. He mentioned the woman and child. Marco pauses. Said you've grown weak because of them. Silence stretches. Elena holds her breath. Increase security. Luca's voice turns cold. No one enters or leaves without my permission. And the woman? Marco asks. Tell her nothing. Luca's tone ends discussion. This is my problem to solve. Elena retreats quickly, heart pounding. They've become pawns in a mafia power struggle. She needs to leave, now before the situation worsens. She returns to their suite, packing the few belongings they've accumulated. Lily watches from the bed, confused. Are we going home? She asks. We're going somewhere safe. Elena zips the small bag. She peeks into the hallway. 2 guards stand at the corridor's end, backs turned momentarily. Elena takes Lily's hand and moves in the opposite direction, toward the service stairs she discovered during her explorations. They descend quietly, reaching the kitchen level. Staff bustle about preparing dinner, paying them no attention. Elena guides Lily toward a side door she knows leads to the gardens. Outside, twilight paints the sky purple and orange. They slip, between hedgerows, moving toward the perimeter wall where Elena noticed a maintenance gate earlier. Almost there, she whispers to Lily. Leaving so soon, Mrs. Brooks. Luca's voice freezes her in place. He steps from behind a cypress tree, expression unreadable in the fading light. Marco materializes beside him, along with 2 security men. Elena pushes Lily behind her. We're not prisoners, remember? You said we could leave. I said when it was safe. Luca approaches slowly. It isn't safe. Because of your criminal activities, anger replaces fear. We won't pay for your sins. His eyes harden. My sins are my own. This is about protection. I don't want your protection, Elena shouts. I want our lives back. Mama? Lily's voice sounds small, frightened. Luca's expression softens when he looks at the child. He kneels to her level, surprising Elena. No one will hurt you. His voice gentles. I promise. Lily studies him solemnly. My mama is scared. I know, he nods. But sometimes we must stay in the castle until the dragons are gone. Elena feels something shift inside her chest, watching this feared man speak kindly to her daughter. The contradiction confuses her. 1 week. Luca stands facing Elena again. Give me 1 week to ensure your safety. Then decide. She weighs her options, limited as they are. Fine, 1 week. He produces a business card from his pocket, pressing it into her palm. His fingers brush hers briefly, warm against her skin. My private number. If you need anything, day or night. Elena takes the card reluctantly. I won't need it. Something almost sad crosses his face. Pride can be dangerous, Elena. It's the first time he's used her given name. The sound of it in his voice feels strangely intimate. So can trust, she replies quietly. They return to the villa, Lily between them. Elena notices how Luca shortens his stride to match her daughter's small steps. Another contradiction to puzzle over. That night a storm batters the coastline. Rain lashes against windows, and thunder shakes the villa's foundations. Lily crawls into Elena's bed, trembling with each lightning flash. The storm can't hurt us, Elena soothes, stroking her hair. Is Mr. Moretti afraid of storms too? Lily asks. Elena smiles. I doubt Mr. Moretti fears anything. A sudden crash echoes through the villa, louder than thunder. Shouts follow, then running footsteps in the corridor. Elena's body tightens with fear. She pulls Lily closer, eyes fixed on their door. The knob turns slowly. She grabs a heavy lamp from the nightstand. Luca enters, expression grim. Get dressed quickly. Bring nothing. What's happening? Elena sets down the lamp. Raphael's men breach the east wall. His voice is clipped, urgent. We need to move you. Elena dresses Lily with shaking hands, then herself. Gunshots echo distantly. Lily begins to cry. It's okay, baby. Elena lifts her, though she's almost too big to carry. Just a loud game. Luca watches them, jaw tight. Follow me. Stay close. He leads them through a hidden panel in the bedroom wall. A narrow passage descends into darkness. Luca activates a small flashlight, illuminating rough stone steps. The villa has escape tunnels. Prohibition era. He moves quickly ahead of them. Mind your step. The passage feels endless, cold, damp, echoing with their footsteps. Elena stumbles once. Luca's hand finds her elbow, steadying her. His touch lingers longer than necessary. Finally, they emerge into a garage filled with vehicles. Marco waits beside a nondescript sedan, engine running. "The beach house is ready," he tells Luca. "Take them directly there." Luca helps Elena into the back seat. "I'll handle Raphael." Elena grabs his wrist impulsively. "You're not coming?" Surprise registers in his eyes. "I thought you'd prefer distance between us." "I prefer staying alive." Her voice holds no artifice. "And you seem good at that." For the first time she sees him truly smile, brief but genuine. "I excel at survival, Elena." "Then survive this." She meets his gaze directly. "And find us after." Something passes between them, understanding, perhaps. Or something deeper neither wants to name. "I'll find you." His promise sounds personal, not professional. The car pulls away, speeding into the stormy night. Through the rear window, Elena watches Luca's figure grow smaller. His men gather around him, awaiting orders. In that moment, he looks both powerful and isolated. "He'll find us, right, Mama?" Lily asks sleepily. Elena's voice is quiet. "Yes, he'll find us." They drive for hours through winding coastal roads. Rain obscures the view, transforming the world into smeared lights and shadows. Lily falls asleep against Elena's shoulder. Marco says little, focused on driving. When Elena asks questions, his answers remain minimal. Yes, they're safe. No, he doesn't know if anyone was hurt. Yes, the boss will join them soon. Dawn breaks as they reach their destination, a modern house perched on isolated cliffs overlooking the sea. Glass walls face the water, while the other sides present blank concrete to the road, beautiful but defensible. "The boss's personal retreat," Marco explains, unlocking the front door. "No one knows about this place." Inside, the house feels warmer than the villa, less formal, more lived in. The furniture is comfortable rather than antique. Books fill shelves alongside photographs and small personal items. The master bedroom is upstairs. Marco points. "There's food in the kitchen." "I'll be outside." "The boss instructed me not to disturb you unless necessary." After he leaves, Elena carries Lily upstairs. She tucks her into the large bed, removing her shoes but leaving her clothes. The child doesn't stir, exhausted by fear and travel. Downstairs, Elena explores cautiously. The house reveals more about Luca than the villa ever did. Modern art hangs on walls. Jazz records sit beside a turntable. A half-finished chess game occupies a side table. She examines photographs. Luca with an older man who shares his features. Luca receiving some business award. Luca standing on this very deck with the ocean behind him. In none does he smile. Elena finds herself in his study. A desk holds neatly arranged papers, a laptop, a crystal paperweight. She opens a drawer, feeling guilty yet curious. Inside lies a velvet box. She hesitates, then opens it. A woman's wedding ring nestles in black velvet alongside a smaller ring, identical to the one Lily wears. She closes the box quickly, heart racing. The evidence mounts that their connection to Luca runs deeper than chance. The identical ring cannot be coincidence. Elena moves to the glass wall overlooking the sea. Dawnlight turns waves golden. She presses her forehead against cool glass, suddenly overwhelmed. Hours pass. Lily wakes and explores excitedly. They eat breakfast from supplies in the kitchen. Elena watches the road constantly, expecting Luca's arrival. When the phone rings, she jumps. Marco answers outside, then enters with a grim expression. The boss has been delayed. His voice reveals nothing. "Is he hurt?" Elena asks. Marco hesitates. "There was a confrontation with Raphael's men." "He'll join you when possible." Fear tightens Elena's chest. "How bad is it?" "The boss has survived worse." Marco's non-answer chills her. He leaves them alone again. Elena distracts Lily with games and books found in the house. Inside, worry grows. She finds herself checking the road every few minutes. Night falls without word from Luca. Elena puts Lily to bed with promises that everything is fine. The child falls asleep, clutching her silver ring. Elena sits in the dark living room, watching headlights on the distant coastal road. None turn toward the house. The silence feels heavy, ominous. A sudden storm breaks over the sea. Rain lashes against glass walls and wind howls around corners. Elena wraps herself in a throw blanket, unable to sleep. The electricity flickers once, twice, then fails completely. Darkness envelops the house. Elena fumbles for her phone, activating its flashlight. A noise at the front door makes her freeze. Keys jangle in the lock. She reaches for the heaviest object nearby, a metal sculpture. The door swings open. Lightning illuminates a tall figure dripping with rain. "Put down my daggers, Elena." Luca's voice sounds strained. "It's worth more than this house." Relief floods through her. She lowers the sculpture as he steps inside, closing the door against howling wind. In the phone's dim light, she sees blood on his shirt. "You're hurt." "It's nothing." He moves past her toward the kitchen. Elena follows, watching him retrieve a first aid kit from a cabinet. His movements lack their usual fluid grace. "Let me help." She takes the kit from his hands. He starts to object, then simply nods. Elena leads him to a chair at the kitchen island. He sits heavily, face pale in the flashlight beam. "Take off your shirt." She opens the kit. Luca raises an eyebrow. "Usually women buy me dinner first." The joke surprises her. "I thought Mafia bosses didn't have a sense of humor." "Only when bleeding." He removes his shirt with a wince. Elena's breath catches. A long gash crosses his right shoulder, still seeping blood. Bruises darken his ribs. But what captures her attention is the canvas of older scars mapping his torso. Evidence of a violent life. She cleans the wound carefully. "Raphael did this?" "His men." Luca's voice tightens as antiseptic touches raw flesh. He lacks the courage to fight directly. Elena works in silence, bandaging the cut. Her fingers brush across his skin, warm despite everything. She feels him watching her, his gaze almost tangible. "Why are you helping me?" he asks suddenly. "You made your opinion of me clear." Elena secures the bandage. "Helping doesn't require approval. You're an unusual woman, Elena Brooks." His voice softens. She steps back, suddenly aware of their proximity in the dark kitchen. "Is Raphael still a threat?" Luca's expression hardens. "Not to you. I've ensured that." Something in his tone sends a chill through her. "You killed him? Would that change your opinion of me?" He studies her face in the dim light. "I don't know." Her honesty surprises them both. Thunder crashes outside. Rain pelts the glass walls relentlessly. The storm mirrors the turmoil Elena feels, caught between judgment and understanding, fear and something more complicated. He's alive. Luca stands carefully. "But he knows the cost of threatening what's mine." "We're not yours." Elena steps back. "We're under your protection, temporarily." His eyes hold hers. "Of course." The power returns suddenly, lights brightening the room. In proper illumination, Luca looks worse. Exhausted, wounded, yet still commanding. "You should rest." Elena gathers the first aid supplies. He nods once. "There's a guest room downstairs, so I'll take that." "This is your house." She frowns. "And Lily is in my bed." His expression softens slightly. "I won't disturb her." Elena watches him move toward the stairs. "Luca?" He pauses, looking back. It's the first time she's used his name. "Thank you for keeping your promise to find us." Something shifts in his eyes, surprise perhaps, or hope. "I always keep my promises, Elena." She believes him. The realization troubles her more than it should. Morning brings sunlight and clarity. The storm has passed, leaving wet soil and fallen branches in its wake. Elena finds Luca in the kitchen, making coffee. He moves stiffly but purposefully. "You look terrible," she says, accepting a cup from him. "Your bedside manner needs work." A ghost of a smile touches his lips. They drink coffee in companionable silence. Elena notices how his eyes move frequently to the windows, scanning the property. "Always vigilant, even here. Will you tell me about the ring?" She finally asks. His cup pauses halfway to his lips. "What about it?" "Mrs. Vella told me it belonged to your daughter." Elena meets his gaze. "Isabella!" Pain flashes across his face, quickly masked. "Mrs. Vella talks too much. Is that why you've been watching Lily? Because of her ring?" Luca sets down his cup carefully. "When I saw it on her finger, I thought I was seeing a ghost." "It came from a church charity," Elena explains softly. "After my husband died, James Brooks." Luca nods. "Construction accident 3 years ago." Elena stares at him. "Do you investigated us?" "I investigate everyone who enters my life." His voice remains neutral. "We didn't enter your life." Anger rises. "You pulled us into it." His eyes find hers, unexpectedly vulnerable. "The ring found its way to your daughter. Some might call that destiny. I call it coincidence." Elena stands. "One that's cost us our home and safety." Before he can respond, Lily appears in the doorway, rubbing sleepy eyes. "Mama, Mr. Moretti, you came!" She runs to him without hesitation. Luca looks startled when she hugs his leg, his hand hovering awkwardly before patting her shoulder. "Good morning, Lily." His voice gentles. "Are you hurt?" She points to his bandaged shoulder visible beneath his t-shirt. "Just a scratch." He kneels to her level, wincing slightly. "Nothing serious." Lily holds up her hand, the silver ring catching light. "Mama says this is magic. It protects me." Luca's face transforms with sudden grief so raw that Elena has to look away. When he speaks, his voice sounds hollow. "My daughter believed that too." Elena sees the moment his walls begin rebuilding, emotion receding behind his controlled exterior. He stands, features settling into familiar neutrality. "I need to make calls." He moves toward his study. "Marco will bring supplies later." After he leaves, Lily looks confused. "Is Mr. Moretti mad at me?" "No, sweetheart." Elena hugs her. "Sometimes people get sad when they remember things. Like when you look at Daddy's picture." Lily asks with child's perception. Elena nods. "Just like that." Throughout the day, Luca remains distant, locked in his study or speaking in hushed Italian on the phone. Elena and Lily explore the beach below the house, building sandcastles under Marco's watchful eye. That evening, they eat dinner together. Conversation remains stilted, focused on practicalities. Luca explains they'll stay 3 more days, until he's certain Raphael no longer poses a threat. And then? Elena asks as she helps Lily cut her chicken. "Then you choose." His voice is even. "Return to town with financial assistance to restart your life. Or what?" Her eyes find his. "We'll discuss alternatives when necessary." He redirects smoothly. After dinner, Luca teaches Lily to play chess. Elena watches from the doorway, struck by the contrast. Her innocent daughter opposite this dangerous man. Yet Lily laughs delightedly when she captures his bishop, and Luca's smile appears genuine. Elena feels something shifting inside her, prejudice giving way to confusion. The monster from rumors and newspapers now sits cross-legged on the floor, patiently explaining chess moves to a child. Later, after Lily is asleep, Elena finds Luca on the deck overlooking the sea. He stands alone, a glass of whiskey in hand, moonlight silvering his profile. She's finally asleep. Elena joins him at the railing. "She insisted you check her room for sea monsters before bed." "I'll do that." He nods seriously. "You're good with her." Elena watches his face. Children are easy. He sips his drink. They haven't learned to hide their true feelings. Unlike adults, she accepts the glass when he offers it, taking a small sip. The whiskey burns pleasantly. Silence stretches between them, filled with the sound of waves breaking below. "My husband was a good man," Elena says suddenly. "Honest, hard-working, the opposite of me," Luca finishes without rancor. "I was going to say the opposite of what people think you are." She returns the glass. His eyebrow raises. "You've changed your assessment?" "I'm reserving judgment." Elena looks toward the horizon. "People are complicated, not me." His voice hardens. "I'm exactly what they say. A criminal, a killer when necessary, and a man who kneels to comfort a frightened child." She turns toward him. "Who teaches chess and checks for sea monsters?" Luca's expression reveals nothing, but his knuckles whiten around the glass. "Don't mistake necessity for kindness, Elena. Is that what you tell yourself?" She steps closer. "That you're only protecting us because you must." "It doesn't matter why." His voice drops lower. "Only that you're safe." The air between them feels charged suddenly. Elena notices details with startling clarity. The scar above his eyebrow, the shadow of stubble along his jaw, the intensity in his dark eyes. "It matters to me." Her voice barely carries above the waves. Lightning flickers on the distant horizon. Another storm approaches. The wind rises, whipping Elena's hair across her face. She brushes it back impatiently. Luca watches the gesture, something shifting in his expression. His hand moves toward her face, then drops without touching. "You should go inside." He steps back. "The storm is coming." Elena feels the moment breaking, relief and disappointment mingling strangely. She nods and turns to leave. Behind her, Luca speaks so quietly she almost misses it. "It was never about necessity, Elena." She pauses but doesn't turn. "Then what was it about?" "Second chances." His voice carries regret and something else, something almost hopeful. Elena continues walking, mind racing with implications. At the door, she looks back. Luca stands exactly as she left him, face turned toward the approaching storm. The man is more complex than she imagined, capable of violence and tenderness, coldness and care. The contradictions should frighten her. Instead, they fascinate her. She closes the door as the first raindrops begin to fall. The coastal house transforms over the next 3 days. What began as a refuge becomes something different, almost a home. Eleanor notices the change in small details. Lily's drawings taped to the refrigerator, her books scattered across the coffee table, the easy routine they develop. Mornings begin with coffee shared in comfortable silence. Afternoons find them on the beach below, where Luca teaches Lily to skip stones across calm water. Evenings bring simple meals and board games that often end with Lily's laughter. Luca changes too. The rigid business suits disappear, replaced by casual clothes that soften his appearance. He speaks more, smiles occasionally, watches them with an expression Elena can't quite name. On their 4th morning, Elena finds him in the kitchen preparing breakfast. Sunlight streams through windows, catching in his dark hair. For a moment she simply watches, this dangerous man whisking eggs with focused precision. "You cook," she finally speaks. Luca doesn't look up. A necessary skill when you trust few people. Trust issues? Eleanor leans against the counter beside him. "I'm shocked." His mouth quirks slightly. "Sarcasm before coffee? You're evolving, Elena." The casual use of her name no longer startles her. Somehow in this isolated place, formalities have faded. Is Marco still watching the property? She accepts the coffee he offers. Always, Luca pours beaten eggs into a hot pan. But Raphael has gone quiet. Too quiet. Elena feels a chill despite the warm kitchen. What does that mean? It means he's planning something. Luca's voice hardens. "We leave tomorrow. The news hits unexpectedly hard." "Leave to go where?" "I have arrangements for you and Lily in Switzerland." He focuses on the cooking eggs. "A house, new identities, accounts. You'll be comfortable. You're sending us away." Elena sets down her cup too forcefully, and without asking what we want. Luca finally looks at her, his expression unreadable. "What do you want, Elena?" The question hangs between them. Eleanor realizes she doesn't know the answer anymore. 3 weeks ago, she wanted nothing more than distance from this man. Now, "I want Lily safe." She chooses the simplest truth. "But Switzerland? A new identity? That's running forever. Running is better than dead." His voice is flat. There must be alternatives. Eleanor moves closer, challenging him. Something besides hiding or fighting. Luca turns off the stove, facing her fully. "My world doesn't offer middle ground. People survive or they don't. Then change your world." The words escape before she considers their weight. Something shifts in his expression, surprise mixed with something deeper. For a long moment, neither speaks. The patter of small feet breaks their standoff. Lily appears in the doorway, still in pajamas, hair tousled from sleep. "I'm hungry." She climbs onto a stool at the kitchen island. Luca serves eggs onto 3 plates without comment. The moment passes, but Elena feels its importance lingering between them. Afternoon brings darkening skies and distant thunder. Elena watches from the deck as clouds gather over the Mediterranean. The air feels charged, heavy with approaching rain. Below at the water's edge, Luca holds Lily's hand as they search for shells. The child's excited voice carries upward whenever they discover something new. Luca kneels beside her, examining each treasure with serious consideration. The scene aches with normalcy. In another life, they might be a real family, father, mother, child. Eleanor pushes the thought away. Fantasy has no place in their precarious situation. Lightning flashes across the horizon. Elena calls down to them, "Storm's coming in." They climb the steps from the beach. Lily clutches a collection of shells and stones. Luca follows more slowly, favoring his injured shoulder. Inside, the first heavy raindrops begin pelting the glass walls. The power flickers once, then fails completely as thunder crashes overhead. Perfect timing. Luca locates candles in a drawer. He lights them methodically, placing them around the living room. The storm intensifies, rain hammering against glass, wind howling around corners. Lightning illuminates the room in brief, brilliant flashes. Lily sits cross-legged on the floor, arranging her shell collection. Can I keep these when we go home? Elena feels Luca's eyes on her. Of course, sweetheart. Where is home now? Lily asks innocently. Our apartment is broken. The question hangs awkwardly. Elena struggles for an answer that won't frighten her daughter. We'll find a new place, she finally says. Somewhere nice. Luca moves to a cabinet, retrieving a bottle of wine and 2 glasses. Lily, would you like to build a fort? There are extra blankets in the hall closet. The child's face lights up. A real fort? The best kind. He nods seriously. Stormproof. While Lily gathers blankets, Luca hands Elena a glass of wine. Switzerland has excellent schools. We're not discussing this now. She accepts the glass but glares at him. Thunder crashes directly overhead, making the house shake. Lily returns with an armload of blankets, excitement overriding fear. They spend the next hour constructing an elaborate fort between the sofa and coffee table. Luca proves surprisingly skilled at architecture, creating a structure that doesn't collapse despite Lily's enthusiastic adjustments. Elena watches them work together, noting how Luca patiently follows the child's illogical directions. His hands she knows have killed, gently secure blanket corners and arrange pillows. It needs a name, Lily announces, surveying their creation. Castle Brooks, as Luca suggests, catching Elena's eye over the child's head. No. Lily giggles. Castle Brooks Moretti. Elena sees Luca freeze momentarily, something painful crossing his face. Then he smiles, a genuine smile that transforms his features. An excellent choice. His voice is rough. Lily crawls inside with her shells, arranging them in patterns on a pillow. Her eyelids soon grow heavy, the excitement and late hour taking their toll. Within minutes, she falls asleep inside the fort. Elena gently rearranges blankets around her. She never sleeps this easily at home. She feels safe. Luca stands by the windows watching the storm. The candlelight casts his profile in gold and shadow. Elena joins him, wineglass in hand. Outside, the sea churns beneath the storm's fury. Will we ever be truly safe? She asks quietly. Not in Sicily. His honesty is brutal. Not while Raphael lives. Elena studies his face. You could leave too. Come with us. Luca's eyes find hers, surprise evident. You would want that? The question feels larger than it should. Elena chooses her words carefully. Lily would miss her chess lessons. Lily. His voice holds a question. Elena feels heat rising to her face. We've gotten used to having you around. Lightning illuminates his face, revealing an expression of such naked hope that Elena's breath catches. It vanishes instantly, replaced by his usual control. My presence would only endanger you. He turns back to the storm. You've protected us so far. She moves closer and nearly got you. Killed. Bitterness edges his voice. My wife and daughter died because of me. I won't repeat that mistake. The admission hangs between them. Elena realizes this is the first time he's spoken directly about his family. What happened to them wasn't your fault. She touches his arm gently. I was the target. His voice is flat. The bomb was meant for me. You didn't plant it. Elena's fingers remain on his sleeve. You didn't choose violence, didn't I? He turns to face her fully. Every decision I've made led to that moment. Every man I hurt, every rival I eliminated. The consequences were inevitable. Elena sees the guilt he carries, crushing, absolute. You can't change the past, but I can protect your future. His hand covers hers briefly. Even if it means you hate me for sending you away. I don't hate you. The admission feels significant. I don't think I ever really did. The air between them changes, charged with something beyond the storm's electricity. Luca's eyes drop to her lips for the briefest moment. Elena feels herself swaying slightly toward him. Thunder crashes overhead, startling them both. The moment breaks. I should check the perimeter. Luca steps back, his voice professional again. The storm provides good cover for an attack. He disappears into the darkness beyond the candle's glow, leaving Elena alone with the sleeping child and her confused feelings. Morning arrives with clear skies and unsettling news. Elena finds Luca in his study, speaking urgently on the phone in rapid Italian. His expression when he sees her confirms her fears. Raphael, she asks when he ends the call. Luca nods once. His men were spotted near the townhouse. He's looking for us. How could he know we're here? Elena feels fear rising. He doesn't. Yet. Luca runs a hand through his hair. a rare gesture of frustration. But he's eliminated other possibilities. Elena paces the small room. So we leave today. The plane is ready. Luca watches her carefully. You'll be in Switzerland by nightfall. And you? She stops pacing, meeting his gaze. I'll end this. His voice leaves no doubt about his meaning. Elena feels cold despite the morning warmth. You'll kill him. I should have done it years ago. Luca stands. Before he threatened what's mine. We're not yours. The protest sounds hollow even to her ears. His expression softens slightly. No, but I would like you to be safe. The simple statement holds more emotion than any declaration. Elena finds herself moving closer to him, drawn by something she can't name. Come with us, she speaks quietly. Walk away from all of this. Hope flares briefly in his eyes. For you don't know what you're asking. I'm asking you to choose something besides violence, her voice strengthens. To be the man I've seen these past weeks, not the one from newspaper headlines. Luca's hand rises, touching her cheek with unexpected gentleness. That man died with his family. I don't believe that. Elena doesn't pull away from his touch. He's standing right here. Something changes in Luca's expression, determination replaced by uncertainty. His fingers trace the line of her jaw. Elena feels her heartbeat quicken. The study door bursts open. Marco stands there, face grim. Boss, we have a problem. The moment shatters. Luca's hand drops as he steps back, his expression closing. What is it? Perimeter sensors triggered on the east side. Marco's voice is tense. Multiple signatures. Luca transforms before Elena's eyes. The gentle man replaced by the calculating boss. How many? At least 6. Marco hands him a tablet showing security camera feeds. Get the helicopter. Luca's voice is cold, controlled. We leave now. Elena rushes to the living room where Lily still sleeps in the blanket fort. She kneels, gently shaking her daughter. Sweetheart, wake up. We need to go, Lily stirs, rubbing sleepy eyes. Where are we going? On an adventure. Elena forces brightness into her voice. But we need to hurry. She helps Lily dress quickly while Luca and Marco move through the house with urgent efficiency. Elena hears car engines approaching outside. Luca enters the bedroom, expression grim. They're here. The helicopter can't land with this many hostiles. What do we do? Elena pulls Lily close. There's a boat at the private dock. Luca checks his weapon, a sight that still makes Elena flinch. Marco will take you while I provide distraction. No, fear makes her voice sharp. We stay together. Luca's eyes soften momentarily. Elena, please. Trust me. The sound of breaking glass comes from downstairs. Lily whimpers, burying her face against Elena's side. No time to argue. Luca lifts Lily into his arms. Follow Marco. Don't stop for anything. They move quickly down a back staircase Elena didn't know existed. Marco leads them through a narrow hallway toward what appears to be a solid wall. He presses somewhere and a panel slides open, revealing stone steps descending toward the sound of waves. The dock is 50 meters east. Marco checks his own weapon. Stay in the shadow of the cliff, shouting echoes from above. Gunshots follow, making Elena flinch. Lily begins to cry, go. Luca transfers Lily to Marco's arms. I'll be right behind you. Elena hesitates, torn between flight and something else, something that makes her want to stay with this dangerous, complex man. Elena. Luca's voice gentles amid chaos. Keep her safe. He touches her face briefly, a gesture that feels like goodbye. Then he turns, heading back toward the sounds of fighting. Marco guides them down stone steps worn smooth by years of sea spray. The private dock comes into view. A small motorboat bobbing beside it. Get in. Marco passes Lily to Elena. I'll start the engine. As Elena settles Lily in the boat, she hears more gunshots from the house above. Her chest tightens with fear, not for herself but for Luca. Marco works quickly, preparing the boat for departure. Elena scans the cliffside path, hoping to see Luca descending. Instead, she sees movement along the cliff edge, men with weapons moving into position. Marco! She calls in warning, too late. Gunfire erupts, bullets striking water around the dock. Marco pushes Elena and Lily down, shielding them with his body. Stay down, he shouts, returning fire. The boat rocks violently as Marco falls backward, blood blooming across his shoulder. His gun slides across the deck. Elena reaches for it instinctively, but strong hands grab her from behind. She screams, fighting against iron grip, the boss's new pet. A man's voice, cold with amusement. And look, a child too. Elena sees more men approaching on the dock. One carries a struggling Lily, hand clamped over her mouth. Let her go. Helena fights harder. She's just a child. She's leverage. The man holding her laughs. My cousin will pay dearly for her return. Raphael. The name clicks into place. The family resemblance to Luca is visible. Same dark eyes, different cruelty. Marco lies motionless on the dock. Elena can't tell if he's alive or dead. She feels terror rising, threatening to overwhelm her. Please, her voice breaks. Don't hurt my daughter. Raphael studies her with cold curiosity. Luca must be getting soft, caring for a woman and child. How disappointing. He gestures to his men. Bring them both. Leave him. He nods toward Marco's still form. They drag Elena up the cliff path, separate from Lily. Her daughter's frightened cries tear at her heart. Every instinct screams to fight, but the weapons pointed at them prevent any resistance. At the top, Elena sees the house in chaos, broken windows, overturned furniture, signs of violent struggle. Several bodies lie motionless on the ground. Her eyes search desperately for Luca, looking for my cousin. Raphael notices her gaze. He put up quite a fight. Always so dramatic. If you've hurt him, Elena begins. Raphael laughs. You'll what? You're in no position to make threats. They're forced into waiting vehicles. Elena manages to catch a final glimpse of the house as they drive away. No sign of Luca. Her heart constricts with fear for him, for Lily, for their uncertain fate. The drive passes in terrified silence. Elena sits rigidly in the back seat, a guard on either side. Lily travels in a separate car ahead, beyond reach. Every maternal instinct screams to protect her child. Yet Elena remains helpless. They arrive at a sprawling estate surrounded by high walls. Unlike Luca's elegant villa, this property feels cold, ostentatious. Guards patrol the perimeter with military precision. Raphael leads them into a marble-floored foyer. Welcome to my home. Your accommodations won't be as comfortable as Luca's, I'm afraid. I want my daughter. Elena's voice is steel despite her fear. All in good time. Raphael gestures to his men. Take her to the guest room. Keep the child separate. Elena fights as they drag her away, Lily's frightened screams echoing through halls. Mama! Mama! Lily! She struggles against restraining hands. Don't hurt her, please. A door closes, cutting off her daughter's cries. The silence that follows feels worse than screams. Elena finds herself locked in a luxurious bedroom that feels more like a prison cell. She paces frantically, searching for weaknesses, escape routes, weapons, anything. Hours pass with excruciating slowness. Outside, daylight fades to dusk. No one comes. No sounds reach her from elsewhere in the house. The isolation feels deliberate, psychological torture. When the door finally opens, Raphael enters alone. He carries a glass of amber liquid, completely at ease. Your daughter is sleeping. He sits in an armchair, crossing his legs casually. Children adapt so quickly. If you've hurt her, Elena starts, please. Raphael waves dismissively. I'm not a monster. She's perfectly safe. He studies Elena with clinical interest. I'm curious what Luca sees in you. You're pretty enough, but hardly exceptional. Elena remains silent, unwilling to engage. Perhaps it's the child? Raphael continues. She does resemble Isabella somewhat. The same age, I believe. Elena feels sick at his casual mention of Luca's dead daughter. What do you want from us? From you? Nothing. Raphael sips his drink. You're merely bait. Luca will come for you. His new surrogate family. He's smarter than that. Elena keeps her voice steady. He won't walk into a trap. Raphael smiles coldly. On the contrary, the great Luca Moretti has one fatal weakness. He cares too much. First his wife and daughter, now you and your child. History repeats itself. The implication chills Elena to her core. This man orchestrated the bombing that killed Luca's family. Now he plans similar fate. You killed them. The accusation escapes before she can stop it. Raphael's expression doesn't change. Business necessities. Luca was becoming too powerful, too respected. The family needed rebalancing. They were innocent. Elena feels rage replacing fear. Collateral damage. He stands, straightening his jacket. As you might be, depending on my cousin's choices. At the door he turns back. Get some rest, Mrs. Brooks. Tomorrow will be eventful. After he leaves, Elena hears the lock click into place. She sinks onto the bed, mind racing. Somewhere in this house, Lily waits alone, frightened. And somewhere beyond these walls, Luca might be searching for them, or lying dead at the coastal house. Elena refuses to accept either possibility. She begins examining the room methodically. Windows, vents, furniture, anything that might aid escape. Night deepens outside. The house grows quieter. Elena works with desperate determination, focused on one goal: finding Lily and escaping before Luca walks into Raphael's trap. Miles away, Luca Moretti stands in the ruins of his coastal house. Blood stains his shirt, some his, mostly others. His eyes survey destruction with cold calculation. Marco lies on a makeshift stretcher, conscious but weakened by blood loss. "I'm sorry, boss." "They took them." "I failed. You're alive." "That's enough." Luca's voice betrays nothing of the rage building inside him. His phone rings, an unknown number. He answers without speaking. "Cousin," Raphael's voice sounds pleased. "I have something of yours." Luca's grip tightens on the phone. "If you harm them..." "Threats already?" Raphael chuckles. "You know my terms. Your territory, your businesses, your position as head of family. In exchange for their lives. I want proof they're alive." Luca's voice remains controlled. The call shifts to video. Elena appears on screen, pale but defiant. Lily sits beside her, eyes wide with fear. "Say hello to Luca," Raphael's voice instructs off camera. "Don't come here." Elena speaks quickly. "It's a trap." The screen goes black, returning to Raphael's smiling face. "Spirited woman." "I admire your taste. When and where?" Luca asks simply. "My estate. Midnight tomorrow." "Come alone." Raphael's voice hardens. "Bring papers transferring all holdings." "You know which ones." The call ends. Luca pockets his phone, expression unchanged. Only his eyes reveal the fury beneath his composed exterior. "Prepare the men." He addresses his remaining guards. "Every asset we have, Cries boss." Marco struggles to sit. "Raphael will expect an army. He'll kill the hostages immediately." He expects me to follow his rules. Luca checks his weapon. I never do. Darkness falls completely as Luca outlines his plan. By morning, every available resource mobilizes according to his instructions. He works with cold efficiency, emotion locked away behind calculated strategy. Only once, when he believes himself unobserved, does Luca remove something from his pocket, a small photograph of Elena and Lily on the beach, captured days earlier. His fingers trace their faces briefly before returning the image to its hiding place. His expression hardens. Raphael made a fatal error targeting them. The man who took everything from him once will not do so again. This time Luca will ensure it. Elena wakes to sunlight streaming through barred windows. She spent the night searching for escape routes without success. The room proves a perfect prison, luxurious but impenetrable. The door unlocks. A maid enters with breakfast tray, expression carefully blank. Behind her, an armed guard watches from the doorway. "Where's my daughter?" Elena asks immediately. "Eating breakfast with Mr. Moretti." The maid doesn't meet her eyes. "Raphael, you mean?" Elena corrects bitterly. The woman only nods before retreating. The door locks again behind her. Elena ignores the food, stomach too knotted with worry to eat. Raphael deliberately separates them, using Lily as leverage against both her and Luca. Hours pass in isolated agony. Elena alternates between frantic planning and crushing helplessness. When the door finally opens again, Raphael enters with Lily. "Mama!" The child runs to her arms. Elena clutches her daughter tightly, checking for injuries or signs of mistreatment. Lily appears physically unharmed but frightened, a touching reunion. Raphael watches with detached interest. "Enjoy it. Your fate depends entirely on Luca's decisions tonight." "What happens tonight?" Elena keeps Lily close. "Your knight arrives to save you." Raphael's smile doesn't reach his eyes, or so he thinks. When he leaves, Elena focuses on comforting Lily. She tells stories, plays simple games with hands and shadows, anything to distract from their predicament. "Is Mr. Moretti coming for us?" Lily asks suddenly. Elena chooses honesty. "I think he'll try, sweetheart." "The bad man said he'll hurt Mr. Moretti." Lily's voice trembles. "I don't want him hurt." Elena hugs her tighter. "Mr. Moretti is very smart and very careful. He'll be okay." The reassurance feels hollow. Raphael planned this confrontation meticulously, using them as perfect bait. Luca faces impossible choices: sacrifice his empire or sacrifice them. Afternoon fades toward evening. Guards bring dinner they barely touch. Elena notices increased activity beyond their door. Voices, footsteps, preparations. Try to sleep, sweetheart. She tucks Lily beside her on the bed. Sing the song. Mama. Lily clutches her silver ring, twisting it nervously. Elena sings softly, the lullaby her own mother sang, about stars and safety and love that never ends. Lily's eyelids grow heavy despite their circumstances. When the child finally sleeps, Eleanor moves to the window. Darkness has fallen completely. Guards patrol the grounds below, weapons visible in security lighting. Raphael leaves nothing to chance. Midnight approaches with excruciating slowness. Elena watches the luminous hands of a bedside clock, each minute bringing Luca closer to whatever fate Raphael planned. A distant sound catches her attention, a muffled thump, then silence. She strains to hear more, but nothing follows. The bedroom door unlocks suddenly. Eleanor positions herself protectively in front of the sleeping Lily. Instead of Raphael, a guard enters, young, nervous. "Mrs. Brooks, Mr. Moretti requests your presence downstairs." "Which Mr. Moretti?" Elena asks cautiously. "Raphael, ma'am." The guard avoids her eyes. "Just you." The child stays. Elena feels trapped. Leaving Lily alone terrifies her, but refusing might bring worse consequences. She kisses her sleeping daughter's forehead before following the guard. The hallway stretches long and ornate, lined with Renaissance paintings and marble busts. More guards stand at intervals, watching her pass with expressionless faces. They descend a grand staircase to the main floor. The guard leads her toward double doors at the rear of the house. Beyond them, voices rise in heated discussion. The doors open to reveal a luxurious office. Raphael sits behind a massive desk, appearing completely at ease. Two armed men flank him, weapons visible. "Ah, Mrs. Brooks." Raphael gestures to a chair opposite him. "Please join us." Elena remains standing. "Where's Lily?" "Sleeping soundly, I presume." Raphael checks his watch. "We have important business to discuss before my cousin arrives." "I have nothing to discuss with you." Her voice remains steady despite her fear. Raphael sighs dramatically. "I was hoping for civilized conversation, but very well." He nods to one of the guards. "Bring her anyway." The implication sends ice through Elena's veins. "Leave her alone." "Your cooperation ensures her comfort." Raphael's voice hardens. "Sit down." Elena sits reluctantly, hands clenched in her lap. Raphael studies her with clinical interest. "You've become quite important to my cousin." He opens a folder on his desk. "A mechanic, a widow. Nothing extraordinary, yet you've accomplished what no one else could." "What's that?" Elena asks despite herself. "You made Luca vulnerable again." Raphael smiles coldly. "For 5 years he's been untouchable, emotionless, ruthless, feared. Then you appear and suddenly he's breaking pattern, taking risks, showing weakness." Elena says nothing, unwilling to confirm his assessment. "I should thank you," Raphael continues. "You've made my task much simpler." Outside, a clock chimes the quarter hour. 11:45. 15 minutes until Luca's expected arrival. "What do you want from me?" Elena finally asks. "Your presence when he arrives." Raphael stands, straightening his jacket. "The perfect scene, you, the child, me." The choice becomes much clearer when the stakes are visible. A commotion outside interrupts him, raised voices, then silence. Raphael frowns, glancing toward the door. Early. He checks his watch. Always impatient, the office doors burst open. Elena's heart leaps, expecting Luca. Instead, one of Raphael's guards staggers in, blood staining his shirt. "Sir, there—" He collapses before finishing. Raphael's expression changes instantly from confidence to alarm. He barks orders in rapid Italian, drawing a weapon from his desk drawer. The lights cut out suddenly, plunging the room into darkness. Emergency generators kick in seconds later, bathing everything in dim red lighting. "Get her upstairs," Raphael shouts to his remaining guards. Hands grab Elena roughly. She fights instinctively, driving an elbow into soft tissue. A grunt of pain follows, the grip loosening briefly. Gunfire erupts outside the office. The guard drags Elena toward a side door. She struggles harder, desperation giving her strength. "Lily," she screams. "My daughter." The side door flies open before they reach it. A figure stands silhouetted against emergency lighting, tall, familiar, deadly. Luca. The guard raises his weapon. Luca moves faster, a single shot echoing in the confined space. The man crumples, his grip on Elena released. She stumbles forward. Luca catches her with one arm, his other hand still holding his weapon. "Are you hurt?" His voice is tight with controlled fury. "No, Lily's upstairs." Elena clutches his arm. Room at the end of the hall. Luca's eyes scan the office. Raphael has disappeared. The desk empty, a hidden door standing open behind it. "Marco." Luca speaks into a concealed microphone. "East wing, second floor, end room." "The child." He looks at Elena, expression softening briefly. "Stay close." They move through the chaos of Raphael's estate. Bodies lie motionless in hallways. Raphael's men caught by surprise. Luca navigates with practiced familiarity, avoiding areas where fighting continues. "How did you get in?" Elena asks as they climb a service staircase. Raphael's security chief has a gambling problem. Luca's voice is emotionless. "And a family he values." They reach the second floor. Marco waits in the hallway outside Lily's room. Blood seeping through a fresh bandage on his shoulder. She's inside. "Boss safe." He hands Luca a key. Elena rushes past them both, unlocking the door with trembling hands. Lily sits huddled in a corner, eyes wide with fear. "Mama!" She launches herself into Elena's arms. "It's okay, baby. We're leaving now." Elena lifts her, turning to find Luca in the doorway. His expression transforms at the sight of them, relief replacing coldness. For a moment he looks almost vulnerable. The moment breaks as gunfire erupts from somewhere below. Luca's face hardens again. "This way." He leads them toward a back staircase. Helicopters waiting on the east lawn. They move quickly through the massive house, Lily clutched in Elena's arms. Luca leads, Marco follows, both men hyper-aware of potential threats. When they reach the ground floor, Luca stops abruptly, signaling silence. Voices approach from an adjoining hallway. Raphael and two guards moving toward the east exit. "Stay here." Luca's command is whispered but absolute. Before Elena can protest, he moves around the corner. Gunshots follow immediately, 3 rapid bursts. Then silence. Elena holds Lily tighter, her heart pounding. The child buries her face against her mother's neck. Whimpering softly, footsteps approach. Elena presses back against the wall, terrified. Luca appears, blood spattered across his shirt. "It's done. Raphael won't threaten you again." His voice sounds different, hollow, distant. Elena understands immediately. He killed his cousin. The exit is clear. Marco gestures toward a doorway. They emerge onto a manicured lawn. A helicopter waits 50 yards away, rotors already spinning. They run toward it, the wind from the blades whipping their hair. Marco helps them aboard, then turns to Luca. "Boss, we need to go." Luca hesitates, looking back at the house. Flames have begun spreading from one wing, the distraction his men created during the assault. "Luca," Elena calls over the rotor noise. "Please." His eyes find hers. Something passes between them, understanding, connection, promise. He climbs aboard, the helicopter lifting immediately. As they rise above the estate, Elena watches Raphael's empire burning below. The sight should disturb her. Instead, she feels only relief, the threat finally eliminated. Beside her, Luca sits rigidly, his expression unreadable. Blood stains his clothes, none of it apparently his own. When Lily reaches for his hand, he looks startled, then gently folds his fingers around hers. "Are the bad men gone?" Lily asks. Luca's voice gentles. "Yes, they can't hurt you anymore." Elena watches this interchange, seeing the man beneath the violence, the protector, the avenger, the broken soul seeking redemption. The helicopter flies through darkness toward the distant lights of Palermo. Below, the world Luca built and Raphael tried to steal grows smaller, less significant. What matters sits within this small metal cabin, a child sleeping against her mother's shoulder, a man who risked everything to save them, the future waiting to be written. Pain wakes him. Luca opens his eyes to unfamiliar surroundings, not his villa or the coastal house, but a simple bedroom in morning light. Memory returns gradually, the safe house outside Palermo, the helicopter landing. Eleanor insisting on treating the wound he hadn't noticed receiving. He sits up carefully, testing the bandage on his side. The bullet only grazed him, but blood loss and exhaustion took their toll. He remembers Elena's hands, gentle yet firm as she cleaned and dressed the wound. Voices drift through the partially open door, Elena and Lily having breakfast in the adjoining room. Their normalcy feels surreal after the violence of the previous night. Luca rises slowly, finding fresh clothes laid across a chair. He dresses carefully, mindful of his injury. When he joins them, Lily spots him first. "Mr. Moretti." She smiles brightly. "Mama made pancakes." Elena turns from the small stove, her expression unreadable. "You should be resting. I've had worse." He accepts the coffee she offers. They eat quietly. Lily chatters about the helicopter ride, seemingly untraumatized by her captivity. Children adapt quickly, as Raphael noted. The thought of his cousin brings no regret, only cold certainty that he did what was necessary. After breakfast, Elena takes Lily outside where a small garden offers sunshine and distraction. Luca watches through the window as they pick wildflowers growing along a stone wall. His phone rings, business requiring attention. The aftermath of Raphael's death creates power vacuum. Associates seek reassurance. Rivals test boundaries. The cycle continues despite his weariness with it all. Elena finds him in the study later, ending another call. She stands in the doorway, studying him with new awareness. "You're leaving." Not a question, Luca nods once. "It's safer now. Raphael's organization is disbanded. His allies have accepted terms." "Terms?" Elena enters the room, keeping distance between them. "My terms." His voice hardens briefly, then softens. "You won't be threatened again." What happens now? She asks the question that has hovered between them for days. Luca meets her gaze directly. "That depends on you." "On me?" Elena moves closer, confusion evident. "I've arranged everything as promised." He keeps his voice neutral. "Switzerland, new identities, accounts. You and Lily can start fresh. And you?" She stops before him, challenge in her eyes. Luca feels something breaking inside. Walls carefully maintained for 5 years crumbling beneath her direct gaze. "I remain here." "My responsibilities," he begins. "Your empire," she finishes for him. "More important than people. More dangerous to people," he corrects quietly. "Everyone close to me becomes a target." Elena steps closer. "We survived Raphael. By luck and sacrifice." Bitterness edges his voice. "I won't risk you again." "That's not your decision." Her voice strengthens. "I choose my risks." "Elena," he starts. "No." She cuts him off. "For weeks you've controlled everything. Where we go, how we live, who we see. This choice is mine." Luca feels unexpected hope rising. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying Switzerland sounds cold." A small smile touches her lips. "And Lily would miss her chess lessons." The implication hangs between them, an offer, a possibility he never dared consider. "My world is dangerous." His final warning. "Then change your world." She echoes her earlier challenge. "You told me once this was about second chances." "For you and Lily," he clarifies. "For all of us." Elena steps closer. "The man who rescued us, who teaches Lily chess, who checks for sea monsters, that's the man we've come to care for." Luca feels something he hasn't experienced in years. Uncertainty. The path before him splits. Continue alone in his carefully constructed empire, or risk everything for this unexpected family. It won't be easy. His voice roughens. "Changing what I've built. Nothing worthwhile ever is." Her hand touches his cheek gently. The contact breaks his final resistance. Luca's arms encircle her waist, drawing her closer. Their foreheads touch, breathing synchronizing. "Are you sure?" he whispers, needing her certainty. Elena answers without words. Her lips find his, gentle at first, then with growing intensity. The kiss contains everything words cannot express. Forgiveness, promise, beginning. Luca responds carefully, then with increasing abandon. His hands frame her face, memorizing every detail of this moment he never expected to experience again. When they part, breathless, Elena smiles. "Does that answer your question?" Before he can respond, Lily's voice calls from the garden. "Mama, look what I found!" Reality intrudes gently. Elena steps back, though her hand remains on his chest. "We should go see." "We should." Luca catches her hand, pressing a kiss to her palm. Outside, Lily proudly displays a butterfly resting on a wildflower. Her excitement draws them into her innocent world, away from violence and decisions. Later, as sunset paints the sky in golds and reds, Luca makes calls that will change everything. Businesses transferred to legitimate management. Criminal enterprises dismantled. Power relinquished. Each decision feels like removing a weight he's carried too long. When he finally joins Elena on the small patio, something like peace settles over him. "It's done," she asks quietly. "The beginning of done." He sits beside her. "It will take time." Elena's hand finds his. "We have time." Above them, stars appear one by one. Inside, Lily sleeps peacefully. Her silver ring, Isabella's ring, catching moonlight on her small hand. The circle completes itself. What fate tore apart, fate has restored, differently, unexpectedly, but no less precious. "Stay with us." Elena's voice holds certainty now, not question. Luca's answer comes easily. "Always." 6 months pass. Summer fades to autumn, then to winter's first chill. The seaside villa transforms with each season, no longer a fortress but a home filled with warmth and laughter. Elena stands on the bedroom balcony, watching waves crash against rocky shores below. The morning air carries salt and promise. Behind her, the bedroom door opens. Luca appears with coffee mugs, his hair still damp from showering. "You'll catch cold. Worth it for this view." She accepts the steaming cup gratefully. His free arm wraps around her waist, pulling her against his chest. They stand together, watching seabirds circle above churning waters. Marco called. Luca's voice is calm. "The last transfer is complete. The Palermo holdings belong to the foundation now." Elena feels pride bloom in her chest. "How much does that make?" 70% of everything." He sips his coffee. The rest converts by spring. The transformation still amazes her. How methodically Luca dismantled his empire, converting criminal enterprises into legitimate businesses, transferring profits to charitable foundations, supporting victims of violence. Not overnight, not without resistance, but with unwavering determination. Any regrets? She turns in his arms, studying his face. Luca smiles, a genuine expression that still surprises her when it appears. None. Inside, they hear Lily's voice calling from downstairs. "Mama, Papa, I've finished my painting." "Papa." The word still catches in Elena's chest whenever Lily says it. The first time happened 3 months ago, spontaneously. Luca's eyes had filled with tears. He quickly blinked away. They find Lily in the sunroom, proudly displaying her artwork. A child's rendering of their villa. 3 stick figures holding hands outside it. Tall figure, medium figure, small figure, family. It's beautiful. Luca kneels beside her, examining the painting with serious consideration. "Your technique is improving." Lily beams at his praise. The silver ring catches light as she points to details in her artwork. The same ring that once belonged to Isabella, now connecting past to present in ways none could have predicted. "Can we hang it in the kitchen?" Lily asks. "Of course." Elena helps her gather art supplies. "Right next to your butterfly drawing." Their days have found rhythm and routine. Mornings spent together before Lily attends the local school. Afternoons filled with homework, piano lessons, Luca teaching patiently, and walks along private beaches. Evenings bring board games, stories, simple pleasures once foreign to all of them. Luca still works, but differently. The legitimate businesses require attention. The charitable foundation needs direction. He makes calls, attends meetings, returns home at reasonable hours. No more midnight emergencies, no blood on his shirts, no weapons hidden in desk drawers. That evening, Eleanor tucks Lily into bed. "Story or song tonight?" "The Ring Story." Lily twists Isabella's silver band on her finger. Elena feels her breath catch. "Which ring story, sweetheart?" "How it brought Papa to us." Lily's innocent perception cuts straight to truth. Elena sits on the edge of the bed, gathering her thoughts. "Well, once there was a little girl who had a special ring. When she went to heaven, the ring needed someone new to take care of it." "Me." Lily nods solemnly. "Yes, you." Elena smooths her daughter's hair. "And the ring had magic. It could bring people together who needed each other. Like puzzle pieces." Lily yawns widely. "Exactly like puzzle pieces." From the doorway comes Luca's voice. "Some people call it fate. Others call it chance." He enters, sitting opposite Elena on the bed. "I call it miraculous." He takes Lily's small hand, gently touching the ring. The gesture no longer brings pain, just quiet acknowledgement of connection between past and present. "Papa, will you play piano tomorrow?" Lily asks sleepily. "Of course, Piccola." He kisses her forehead. Sleep now. They watch her drift into dreams before quietly leaving the room. In the hallway, Luca pulls Elena close, his forehead touching hers. "Thank you." His voice is rough with emotion. "For what?" She wraps her arms around his waist. "For seeing the man I could be, not just the one I was." Elena rises on tiptoes, kissing him softly. "I saw both. I chose both." Later, they sit on the terrace despite winter's chill. Blankets and outdoor heaters create a cocoon of warmth. The sea stretches endlessly before them, silver in moonlight. "I have something for you." Luca reaches into his pocket. He produces a small velvet box. Helena's eyes widen as he opens it, revealing a simple diamond ring. "I'm not asking you to forget, James." His voice is gentle. "Just to make room for a future with me." Elena feels tears gathering. "James will always be part of me. But my heart has grown larger, not smaller." Luca takes her hand, sliding the ring onto her finger. "Elena Brooks, will you marry me?" "Yes." The word emerges without hesitation. "Yes." His lips find hers, tender at first, then deepening with promise. When they part, Elena rests her head against his chest, listening to his steady heartbeat. "We should tell Lily in the morning." Luca's arms tighten around her. She already knows. Elena laughs softly. "She asked me yesterday when you were going to give me a ring like hers." The silence stretches comfortably between them. Stars appear one by one above the dark sea. The villa behind them stands solid and safe, no longer a fortress against the world, but a haven within it. "I never thought I'd have this again." Luca's voice carries wonder. "Family, home, peace?" "Neither did I." Eleanor's fingers trace the new ring on her hand. Life takes unexpected turns, like broken Ferraris on coastal roads. His smile is evident in his voice, like little girls who know exactly which wire is loose. She turns in his arms, facing him fully. Their foreheads touch, breath mingling in the cool air. Two broken people who found healing in each other. Two separate paths merging into one. "We should go inside." Luca stands, offering his hand. "It's getting cold." Elena takes his hand, rising. They walk together toward warmth and comfort, toward the future they're building day by day. Inside their bedroom, Luca draws her close again. His hands frame her face with reverence. "I love you, Elena Brooks, and I love you, Luca Moretti." She meets his gaze directly. "All of you." His kiss contains everything words cannot express: gratitude, passion, commitment. Elena responds with equal fervor, hands pulling him closer. The silver ring on Lily's finger brought them together. The diamond on Elena's finger promises they'll stay that way. As moonlight spills across their bed, Elena whispers against his lips, "We're finally home."